In an operation where every second counts, a small communication error almost causes a disaster. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian Bradley moves through enemy lines, but a Russian surprise threatens everything. Get ready to see the unexpected in action. Stay with us. What you are about to see contains sensitive footage from the Ukraine-Russia conflict. It is presented strictly for documentary purposes. In these images, we see the Bradley on a mission carried out in New York, Ukraine, in the Donetsk region. The infantry disembarks from the armored vehicle and takes position, as does the Bradley. According to Ukrainian intelligence, the enemies were believed to be inside some buildings. Therefore, the Bradley provides suppressive fire to support the infantry's advance. Enemy positions are being checked one by one, as we can see soldiers throwing a grenade into a basement. The Ukrainian armored vehicle provided support to the infantry throughout the mission, which was successfully completed. In these images, we see a Bradley vehicle serving as a distraction. The enemy assumed it was the primary threat, but in reality, the true assault was already underway. Despite coming under heavy fire, the Bradley was not taken out. The Bradley's gunner locks onto an enemy drone and opens fire. Surprisingly, the drone is hit. An artillery strike on the Bradley begins.
Два снаряда беговым. Огонь.
Орудие!
Быстрее!
The Ukrainian armored vehicle responds by firing toward the buildings, where, according to intelligence sources, enemy troops were taking cover. Ukrainian infantry dismounts and begins the mission to locate and neutralize enemy fighters. One cornered Russian soldier manages to escape. Ukrainian troops inspect every apartment and house, and even the basements. The situation becomes unbearable for the Russians. Confused and under pressure, one soldier tries to call for reinforcements, but it's already too late. On the other side, a Ukrainian pulls the pin on a grenade with deadly precision. Suddenly, an enemy grenade lands near him. He reacts on instinct and throws it back immediately. Moments later, a series of explosions shakes the Russian position. Ukrainian grenades rain down in rapid succession. There's no way out. We can see in the images that the Ukrainian Bradley is deployed to assist the Ukrainian soldiers as Russian troops launch an offensive against their positions. One of the Russian vehicles supporting the attacking troops is an APC. However, this enemy vehicle is soon located, and the counteroffensive is initiated. The Russian APC is unable to withstand the 25mm cannon fire from the Bradley. In these images, we see two Ukrainian armored vehicles advancing. The one on the left is an APC, armored personnel carrier, and the one on the right is a Bradley. Both are firing suppressive shots to support the infantry's disembarkation. The Russians then decide to use a BM-21 Grad, a multiple rocket launcher firing unguided surface-to-surface missiles. In addition, two Su-25 fighter jets are also deployed to assist the Russian infantry on the ground. The BM-21 Grad positions itself to launch, but a communication failure occurs, and a disaster is narrowly avoided on the front line. The jets begin the attack with missiles. The APC approaches the disembarkation zone and is nearly hit. The APC fires to suppress the enemy and begin the infantry's disembarkation. Ukrainian soldiers flank the Russians and launch the offensive, initiating the combat. It has been observed that in this war between Ukraine and Russia, up to 70% of confrontations take place without visual contact with the enemy. In these frontline images, it was verified that Ukrainian soldiers managed to capture some Russian positions while the Russians were distracted by the Bradley on the other side. Now we see two Russian APCs that have managed to break through the Ukrainian defenses. However, the Bradley advances toward the enemy, and upon locating them, opens fire. Through the commander's cockpit and a drone, it is possible to see the offensive against the Russian armored vehicles and the success in neutralizing them. The drone is extremely important for the armored vehicles, guiding them from the air. Thus, the Bradley is directed to a nearby location to locate a Russian tank that appears to be damaged. The Ukrainian armored vehicle locates the target and begins firing with its Bushmaster cannon. The Bushmaster cannon is a family of automatic cannons manufactured by the United States and widely used in armored vehicles, helicopters, and military vessels, known for its reliability and firepower. The Bradley continues its mission and moves toward another enemy position. At this moment, the Russians, upon spotting the approaching Bradley, launch a Kornet missile, which has an armor penetration capability of over 1,200 millimeters. Since the first shot was not enough to stop the Bradley, a second missile is fired, successfully neutralizing the vehicle. However, the Bradley's armor was sufficient to protect the Ukrainian soldiers. Now, let's understand why the Bradley's armor is so effective. We can see that on both sides, around the turret, there are 2 rows of 15 blocks, and at the front, there are 3 rows, all of reactive armor. Reactive armor is made up of blocks with explosives installed on the vehicle's surface. When a projectile hits one of these blocks, the explosive inside detonates outward. In these images from Donetsk, Ukraine, we see the Ukrainian armored vehicle advancing to carry out an infantry disembarkation in the trenches. However, the Russians are already launching an offensive against the Bradley. A Russian anti-tank missile hits it, but fails to stop it. The Ukrainian troops then deploy smoke to prevent further attacks and to conceal the vehicle's location. The Bradley takes position, and the Ukrainian infantry disembarks. During the vehicle's retreat, a new missile strikes it again. Still, the Bradley's armor proves to be extremely effective, and the vehicle manages to leave the area. Now let's understand how the Bradley is built. When we remove the metal surface layer, we see the 8-cylinder diesel engine, which produces 600 horsepower. Next to the engine is the driver's seat. And behind it are the gunner, and beside him, the commander. The Bradley can also carry about 4 soldiers, or, depending on the mission, 6 soldiers, which is why it is so commonly used for infantry troop transport. On top of the armored vehicle, we have the thermal sight, which rotates 360 degrees, as well as the targeting scope. The commander is responsible for identifying enemy positions and relaying the coordinates to the gunner of the 25mm Bushmaster cannon, which has a firing rate of 200 rounds per minute and an effective range of 3,000 to up to 6,000 meters. There is also a secondary weapon on the vehicle, a machine gun. The Bradley is also equipped with a missile launching system, the dual Tau missile launcher. Infantry soldiers have 2 access points to the vehicle, a small access hatch and the rear door. On the sides of the vehicle are the active armor plates. The Bradley is approximately 6.55 meters long, about 3.6 meters wide, and reaches a height of nearly 3 meters. The Bradley is able to easily destroy a tank using the TOW missile. In the footage, we see a Ukrainian armored vehicle and a Russian tank. The Bradley launches the missile toward the enemy, and, with precision, hits it. And this is the result. Before the next battle unfolds, hit that like button. Don't miss what's coming.